All right, so here at the shop, we get a lot of requests to do a lot of factory style replacement panels. And on this 67 Camaro, we ended up getting a lot of those to do. We did full quarters, a roof skin, we did some DSE deep tubs, we did a deck filler panel. We're also doing a door skin, as seen here. I'm kind of in the middle of it right now. We like to weld everything in the way the factory did, and that includes doing the spot welds, and then we'll lead over this when we're done. Most of these panels fit pretty well. The only one that I had any trouble with was the roof skin, and I ended up having to splice a little bit up here in the corner and spread it out to get it to fit right. So once I had the old quarter removed, I decided to remove the inner and outer wheel tubs as one. The instructions for the new DSE tubs require that you cut 2 inches inboard of the original inner wheel well, and you box off the frame rail with 1/8 inch plate. Once I had the frame rail boxed off, I set all the new wheel tubs in place, spot welded them to the inner structure, and laid the new quarter over them to make sure everything was going to fit right. Once I figured out everything was going to fit right, I removed the quarter and drilled out all the original spot welds of the original quarter panel. And then I laid the new quarter panel into place with the door in its original location so that I could make sure that the quarter was lined up perfectly with everything. The tailpin didn't need to be replaced on this, so this gave me another place to make sure that the quarter matched up in the original location. Once I had that done, I went to tackle the deck filler panel. And when you're doing the deck filler panel, it's best to have the trunk lid in place so that you make sure everything can line up properly. Once I had the new deck filler panel in place, I replaced all of this trunk weather stripping channel and spot welded everything in just like the factory did. Now with these deep tubs, this customer is going to end up doing a 4-link. So what we did was we put this new DSE upper shock cross member in. This gives a new location to put the shocks, since you had to cut the original shock mounts out when you're putting in the new deep tubs. Next we tackled the new roof, and I tackled that basically the same way as I tackled the quarter panel. I trimmed around the perimeter, pulled the old roof off, and then went through and drilled out all the factory spot welds, including the ones that are down here in the drip rail. Those are definitely the most tricky to take out without ruining the factory drip rail. And now we're in the middle of tackling the door skin. This door had been wrecked in the past, so it had the old style bodywork where they basically just drilled a bunch of holes and pulled it out with the slide hammer and then filled it with mud. So we got a new door skin for it, and we took a roll lock and trimmed all along the sides, cut the old door panel off, drilled out the spot welds that held the folded flange over. And now we're just gonna put the new one on just like they did from the factory. You can check out photos of this car on our website at v8speedshop.com.